Hello and welcome to another episode of the Success Triangle. So, last episode, in the introduction to the Success Triangle, I introduced to you the three components to be successful in anything that you want to do, be it your career, your marriage life, your relationship with your children, sports, anything at all. You need to master three things. And can you remember those three things? Number one is internal communication. Number two is external communication. And number three is technical know-how. So I've gone into an overview of each one of these. And today, in lesson 1, I will go deeper into internal communication. So what is this internal communication? Internal communication is what goes on in your head. You are always communicating with your own self. In external communication, you communicate with others. In order to be successful, you need to work in a team and you have external communication. But prior to that, the foundation, most important, is the little voice in your head that speaks to you, that chattering, that voice, yeah, that speaks to you. That voice can break or make you. It's that voice that can tell you you're no good, you're good for nothing, you can never succeed in anything you are in life, you are a failure. Or that voice can say, you are God's creation. I am created with abilities that I can't even imagine. Anything that I can conceive in my mind, I can do it. So this is what we call internal communication. And this internal communication is the foundation for your success. And there are many books that have been written about this as well. I'm sure you've heard of this book, The Magic of Thinking Big, one of the best sellers of all times. So it is about thinking big and not think small, because whether you play small or you play big, you think small or you think big, it still requires the same amount of energy. So if it requires, and you expand the same kind of energy, why not play big, think big? And one of the all-time bestseller, I've introduced this book in one of my Facebook Live previously, and it's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Get this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He didn't say do and grow rich, take action and grow rich. He said think and grow rich. And you say, is there such a thing as think and you can grow rich? Well, I will talk more about that. And this third book is called Unstoppable by Cynthia Kersey. Unstoppable. It is stories about people who are unstoppable. They achieve great things. And why do they achieve great things? You think it's because of their abilities? No, it is because of their belief system, their desire, their passion that says, no matter what, I will make it. No matter what, nothing can stop me. I am unstoppable. And that is the human mind and the human spirit of success. So very, very important. The first thing is your internal communication, your attitude. Your attitude determines your aptitude and your success. And you must picture in your mind what you want before you get it. Everything comes from your mind. What the mind can conceive, it can materialize. What your mind can conceive, you can achieve. Very, very important. And that's why you must have a big vision and the reason why you want to do something, and you have a strong reason and a passion for it. Nothing can stop you. So the first thing is very, very important. internal communication. And as I have mentioned in one of my Facebook Live previously, your ability is what you're capable of doing. And many people think about ability. What is ability? Your technical know-how. What you learn, your skills that you acquire through your academic learning, university, or your technical skills that you learn in vocational school. A skill that you've learned, it could be medicine, it could be carpentry, dentistry, law, engineering, accountancy, whatever skills that you learn. It may be an art, but that skill doesn't determine much of the success. It's only 20%. But your internal communication and your external communication determines 80%. Because ability is what you're capable of doing. But whether you do it or not depends on your motivation. Your motivation determines what you do. And your attitude determines how well you do it. So, let's talk a bit about this internal communication right now. Internal communication is a very, very big subject, and I can talk hours and hours about it. But today, let me just give you a brief introduction. One of your internal communication is a belief system. Your belief. Yeah? Your belief. Belief. Yeah? Your belief determines, what does your belief determines? Your belief determines your attitude, your mindset. It determines your mindset and your attitude. And that attitude determines your behavior. And your behavior is the action that you take. Your action. And what does your action bring? What does your action bring? Your action will bring about your results. So your belief determines your mindset, your attitude, and your attitude determines your action or behavior, and your behavior determines your results. And this belief system that brings about the results determines your destiny in life. It's so important, I repeat, on how important it is about your internal communication, and you must think right, think positive, think big, have the right attitude. Because if you have a negative belief, you have a negative mindset, negative action, sabotaging yourself, and you will get results of failure. So, and this belief come from your decision. Yes, your results come from your decision. You decide whether you want to be unstoppable or stoppable. You decide whether something can stop you or it can't stop you. You decide whether you want to reach your goals or not. Let me tell you a bit about my story. Some of you who knows me knows that I came from a very, very poor family. My father passed away when I was 3 years old. I would not have known who my father is or how he looked like if not for some family photos that my mother kept. And that is the only memories I had of my father, because he passed away when I was just barely 3 years old. My mother was a housewife, uneducated, only a few years of primary education. We live in poverty. We scramble for every cent we can get. I don't have pocket money to go to school. I look at my friends eating during canteen, during recess time when in school. And it was a very, very tough life. at 6 years old, there was a neighbor, a beautiful girl in her maybe very early 20s. To me, she's like Miss Universe. I was 6 years old. I call her Che Che in Chinese, which means big sister. And one day she came with her mother to my house. I was living at a place where my stepbrother gave me a place to stay. And yes, long story, but I have a stepbrother who loved me very much, so I don't even consider my stepbrother. He's my brother. Or half brother. He's my brother, yeah. And we live it, yeah, it was tough. And then this neighbor came, this pretty Che Che or sister in her early 20s with a mother came over to my house. I was inside the house in the living hall. My mother went out to the gates to meet them. And I saw, after a brief conversation, there was some kind of like tugging at the gates. I do not know what happened. The Che Che and the mother left shortly. My mother came in. I asked my mother in Chinese, "Ma'am, yeah, Ma, what happened just now?" My mother told me, the Che Che is getting married. They came with the wedding invitation to invite us to her wedding. My mother refused to receive the wedding invitation. Why? Because my mother could not afford the wedding gift. In Chinese called the ang pao. And she didn't want to go to the wedding empty-handed. The Che Che and the mother was very, very kind and understanding. Said, "Never mind, we are neighbors, just come, forget about the gift." But my mother could not bring herself to go to a wedding without a wedding gift. And I was devastated. I said, "This is the Che Che. She's getting married, a big occasion in her life. I want to be part of it. I want to be at the wedding." But my mother turned it down and I couldn't go. I've never been to a wedding before. And at that point in time, my heart ached and I cried out inside. I said, "I will be successful in life. I will be successful in life." At 6 years old, I said, "I will be successful in life. I will not let my mother and myself be embarrassed that way again." And of course, at 7 years old, 1 year after that, I entered into school at standard 1, primary 1. I don't have any education. Some children, they have their what they call kindergarten or preschool education. I don't have. I learned A for apple, B for boy while I'm in school from scratch. And of course, the first year, I got a lot of red marks, almost the bottom in the school. So within 3 years, with no tuition, persevering and self-education, at 9 years old, I became the top boy, the top student in my class. And I was among the top all the years after that. And after my high school, I don't have money to go to take any higher education except from a public university where all I could do was to apply to be a Bachelor of Science with Education, to be a school teacher. But I got rejected. But fortunately, I got a loan and went to a college and studied accountancy, ACCA, Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. It was a very tough exam. Many people say it's tough, but in my heart, I know I already passed because I decided I will pass. I decided that ACCA will not be a problem. It will not be a challenge. I will pass it, and I passed it. And to cut the whole story short, upon passing it, I went to work in a bank for 3 years, public bank. And at the age of 27, I became the youngest manager, just under 28, and the head of department of a multinational company. And I worked my way up in the corporate ladder all the way to CFO and COO in my corporate life, all because of this determination. I want to succeed. And of course, right now, in this second part of life, I do not live to work, or right, I do not live to I'm sorry, I want to live to work. I not work to live, not to earn an income to live, but I live to do work that I like, something that I'm passionate about. It's a way of change of how I view life right now. In the first half of life, I'm a hunter-gatherer. I gather, I work to gather income, to feed the family, to get married, to buy a house, to go for holidays. But in the second half, I want to live beyond my immediate. It is about now doing my passion and contributing back to life. And that's how I came into the world of training and education, because it's my time that I want to do something that I love about. And that's to teach and to impart my knowledge and my experience. I may not be very rich, but I am capable right now, at least, to do what I love. And I do not know where this journey will bring me. But I know as I live my life, doing something that I'm passionate about, my life purpose will play out. Inspire significance in others, maybe. I don't know. Time will tell. So I make a decision, and since I make a decision, and what I have right now is what you call very, very important clarity. When you have clear what you want in life, what does it lead to? What do you think it leads to? What do you think it leads to? It leads to power. I do not mean power in the sense that power to lord it over others, like some self-serving politicians do. When I say power here, it's a power to live and express life with passion, using God's given gift to do what I can do best, so that when I leave planet Earth, I inspire significance. So that's all for today. I hope you yourself will take some time to reflect back really what really drives you. Why are you on planet Earth? What is your God-given gift? What is your passion? And go and live it. So that's all for today about internet communication. Until I see you in the next episode, God bless, live your best life, and see you then. Bye.